Oh, guys, welcome back. Welcome back to the Pleasure Dome. Welcome back to the Project What TF. So today we're going to be delving into the black arts of emissions. So to do that, we're going to be taking the exhaust off, seeing what's going on with the cat. There's a bit of a rattle under here. Not sure exactly what that is, but we're going to take it apart, have a quick look at it, see what state it's in physically. And then once we've done that, I've bitten the bullet and figured out that I need to fit a second O2 sensor, reinstate that back into the car. I keep getting the check engine light on for the heater element circuit of the sensor, so I'm going to be refitting this back in. Come join me. My name's Craig. I'm exhausted. Let's do this. Right, so I'm warming the car up now. I just want to do a few tests before I start dismantling anything. So I'm going to plug the ODB2 sensor in, fire up torque app, and have a look at a few things in there. I also want to check things like exhaust leaks and stuff like that, see if it's pulling any oxygen from somewhere else. But she's ticking over nice, ticking over fine. One thing I wanted to check was, because it's got two tailpipes, is it sucking in air from the other side and messing up the reading? So just going to check if there's a vacuum or positive pressure coming out of the tailpipes. Let's see if it will try and suck this in. No, it's blowing it away, so definitely positive pressure coming out of there. So now I'm going to try and cover them and check for leaks. It's a bit more tricky. Well, I mean, doing that, I can see the flexi bulging a little bit, and there's nothing apparent. All sounds pretty. All sounds okay. Okay. Just going back to the emissions test certificate again. So, just remember, okay, that the only thing it failed on was CO. Lambda's there or thereabouts. Fast idle and second fast idle. Fast idle, it's running slightly lean. Second fast idle, slightly rich, but well within the acceptable limits. Yeah, and lambda means that your fuel air ratio is as expected. I mean, the ideal fuel air ratio is 14.7 parts air, 1 part fuel, and if you get that exact, then lambda equals 1. So it's just off 1. So I'm pretty much there or thereabouts in terms of fuel air ratio coming out the exhaust. And the next one's hydrocarbons. So hydrocarbons are again within the limit, half of the limit at second fast idle, and a quarter of the limit at first fast idle. That passed nice and easy. And hydrocarbons relate to unburnt fuel, air fuel ratio mixture again. If you're too rich, for instance, you may have unburnt fuel remaining. You won't get it if you're too lean, because obviously if you're lean, you've not all the fuel's being burnt up. So we don't seem to have a problem with air fuel mixture. But I'm going to obviously look at what's going on with the O2 sensor and see if that's still working to manage the fuel as it goes in. Look at a few more things as well, such as fuel trim. Right, so I'm connected. First thing I'm going to do is get rid of that fault code, and that's going to tell me, it's going to say heater 2, bank 1, heating circuit, guaranteed. Bank 1, sensor 2, heater circuit. Yeah, so we'll clear that. Okay, that's gone, but I'll be back unless I do something about it, which I'm going to do. Let's look at some graphing data. Live chart, fuel trim, short and long term. Short term is like what's happening immediately. Long term is if there's a, go on, it's in the name, isn't it? A long term issue, it'll be stored in the long term place, okay? And then let's just have a look at that and press play. Now what should be happening with this is it should be around 0. So anything like in 10%, in 5% is going to be okay. Trying to get to, well, when you've got a new car and it's set up in terms of the ideal design and manufacture, then the fuel trim will be 0. A negative trim is reducing fuel, and a positive trim is increasing fuel to manage differences in the engine. So as long as it's approaching 0, then that should be acceptable. So what I've got here at the moment is long term and short term, and they're averaging around -2.5 for short term and -3 for long term. So it will change if I accelerate. But again, it should be compensating in terms of what the car's thinking. It should be trying to get back to zero. Yeah, it still stayed within that area, within that 10% band. So in terms of fuel trim, it's not trying to overcompensate in terms of making it too lean or too rich. So that's a good result in terms of fuel trim. Air intake temperatures 28 degrees. That's reasonably normal. There's nothing skewed there, so that's fine. Air intake manifold pressure. Not sure what that means. Let's have a quick look at it. Okay, I don't really know what that means. O2 bank 1 sensor 1. So this is the pre-cat O2 sensor. And that should be varying between 0 and something like 0.8 volts as it manages the fuel, the air mixture, lean to rich, lean to rich, lean to rich, lean to rich, and keeps compensating. So it'll change if you accelerate, but it's still oscillating like it should do, so that's still working fine. And that's apparent when you look at the fuel trim as well, because this is what's affecting that fuel trim. And all fuel trim's doing is opening and closing the injectors for longer or shorter periods, but it's using the O2 sensor data to do that. So if you change this or took the O2 sensor off, the fuel trim would start going a bit wibbly wobbly. Vacuum gauge. So we've got a vacuum at the moment at -9.5. That tends to 0 under rapid acceleration. Okay, so it's pulling a vacuum and then tending to 0 under acceleration, so that's good. On those tests, everything seems pretty normal in terms of fuel air ratio, fueling, injectors, sensors, vacuum, all that kind of stuff. I think I'm no expert. If you guys have spotted something that I've not noticed, drop me a comment and let me know. Okay, every comment's really helpful, so thanks. So now we're just going to whip this exhaust off and have a look at the cat then. So she's jacked up and on axle stands. I've had these 3 off before when I did the O2 sensor on the downpipe. Not had those 3 off though, but I have lubed them and they look okay, a little bit crusty, but okay. But I think if I take these 3 off and I take the bracket off, the whole thing and the cat should come out, so then I can do them off the ground. So let's try that. Let's put you on the tripod down here. So these 3, 15. Yeah, coming off my hand, that one. Yeah, you can tell it's been out before, can't you? Crikey. I spoke too soon. Okay. That's out. And then the one I can't reach. Well, there you go. Awesome. Well, that's loose on that. It's got a band on it, hasn't it? But that attached to there, so that's already off. So the only thing annoying this on now is the rubbers at the end. I'm going to take these 2 off here, and this bracket comes away. Then I'll slide it across, it should come out. Yeah, a couple of 13mm, I think. Okay. So that side out. It should now slide across, I think. Is that flexy? Out of the way. Okay, slide across. And then out. Okay. Oh, yeah. Right. Don't knacker it. Don't drop it. Oh. Okay, right. And then slowly and gently. Right. She's out. She's dirty. but she's in good condition. Pretty cool. Got a chance to give it a good clean. We put it back together. Something's rattling, isn't it? Yeah, well, let's take the thing apart and then have a look. I think I might need the bigger impact. Wow. Oh, it's one off. Oh dear. I think I'm struggling to get purchase on this one. Yeah, this side's a bit crustier than that side. Try to get this as short as possible. Okay, cool, that's off. 2 out. And then this one looks a bit better, I think. Wow. Okay, cool. We're off. Now that's vibration, probably shaking the cat half to death anyway, so. Oh, the gasket's gone, isn't it? So that needs replacing. Well, apart from a new gasket, you might have to see through that. Can you see through there? You can see all the elements of the catalyst are still there, so it's all still in one piece. So I need to figure out what we're doing now. So that's my first question is this OEM React? Does that look like an OEM one? You guys tell me. It's got some extra stickers on it that may suggest it's been added later, but we know that this isn't the right this isn't the right catalyst for this car anyway. So yeah, so the rattle I've got is not coming from that. That's in pretty good nick physically, chemically, I don't know. There's definitely a rattle in this exhaust. Yeah, some kind of baffle in there, loose, isn't there? So apart from cutting a hole in it, trying to fix it, it's got a rattle, but other than that, it's not rotten or in bad condition. So I'm going to leave that as that. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So still working. That's no way going to affect the emissions, is it? So it's cleaning up. So I think I might need your guys' advice on this one. Right then, let's discuss where we are. Mark 1 cat. Okay, Euro 2 and a matching Mark 1 exhaust fitted to the TF, which should have a longer cat section, which has got the 90-degree bend on here and the sensor in the cat pipework itself. And I think that cat on that unit is longer. One of the reasons they changed it, because this is Euro 2 cat, I think, and then the new one's Euro 3. So it's got better performance. That being said, my initial thought when I found out that this had the old version of the cat on was that it was going to have Euro 3, Euro 2 differing limits. And the Euro 3 was going to be tighter, but I've been back car definition that the testers use when they do an MOT, and they're exactly the same. So the requirements are the same, the cat's different. Did they have 160 VVC engine with the earlier version of the cat? I don't know. Do you guys know? Because if they did, then that should mean that that combination should pass. Or is there something I'm missing there? Cheapest way for me to do this is to get a new gasket, put it all back together, install my O2 sensor in the exhaust. O2 sensor is showing that the cat's working. Now, it didn't work before, and I've not really changed anything, so why would it work now? Then I could be using some cat clean and doing an Italian tune-up, going for a long run on this. I didn't really get the chance to do that before the MOT this time, and this car's been sat for years. I mean, you go back over the MOT history, and it's kind of done only a couple of thousand miles in the last 12 years, so it's done hardly anything. I mean, the receipt from when it was bought from Trophy Cars, probably about 7 years ago, had exhaust fitted. And I've struggled to think that Trophy Cars would have fitted the earlier Mark cat, but obviously someone did, didn't they? I think right now what I'm going to do, fit the O2 sensor on this part, on this exhaust, put it all back together, put a cat clean in it, do an Italian tune-up, and see if that gets me somewhere. Now, as I said before, because the MOT was abandoned, they didn't charge me for it, so it's not gone down as a formal failure, which is good. So I'll probably do all that, check what it's looking like on the post-cat sensor, and if that's looking okay with a good old run, I'll take it back in and see what happens. And then after that, I've got 10 days to try and sort it. And I think if in those 10 days, if it fails again, what I'm likely going to have to do is go and get some help. Because as I said earlier, it's a bit of a black art emission. You chase your tail forever and a day. Right, so luckily, whenever they took this out, they kept the connector, so which is great. So I'm just threading this down now. I just connected this white bits of metal. Thread it down the gap. That's just going to come out here. Right. Just take. So the boss is going to go there. I originally thought I was going to put it over here, but the wire won't reach, so it's got to go this side. And if I do need to get this cut on a new joint put there to fit a Euro 3 cat in, then I'll just get them to put another boss on for me. Actually, indeed, the Euro 3 comes with its boss of its own, so this will be cut off and we won't need a new one, so double bubble. So yeah, it's going to go there. Now I can't have it going that way because it's going to start impacting the bodywork. I can't have it going that way because I won't have access to weld, so it's going to come straight up. I've lost my punch. I can't bloody find it. 22mm is what I need. I need to make sure I don't go beyond it, so we'll keep an eye on that. I'm really mindful of the fact that actually 22mm up here is going to be too long and start coming to the other side of the pipework. So I'm going to make a start, and then this is pretty knackered anyway. So I'll make a start, and I'll get my grinder and lock the end off. Oh, here we go. Let's turn it back now. Remember, don't touch the metal. Use your same hands. Ready? Stop. What's it's going to see what it's trying to do? It's trying to turn the plug over. Try again. Ready? Straight in. Good boy. Right, we're up to 9.5 now, so we are making progress. Oh, crikey. Right, so we're making some solid progress here now, guys. Almost through. Let's just check. That's going nowhere near the other side. So at this stage, just keep checking with a little tap of the mallet. That might be good enough for our money. Right, I'm just going to tidy this up really gently. Nice tight fit. Right, here we go again. Wish me luck. Oh my god. Oh, turn it on. It's a start, isn't it? Right, it's not pretty, but it's functional. I'm not even going to bother grinding it. I'm just going to leave it as it is. It will do the job, that will stay on, and it will be airtight, so grand. Right, let's go polishing these tips. We're not after perfection here, are we? Just while it's off. Opportunity just to smart it up a touch. Right, let's try and pop this on without breaking anything. It's easier without the cat in place, so. Okay. Right. Oh, crikey. Let's see. What's going on? Well, I don't know why the recording stopped. That was actually quite difficult. The main problem was these upticks on these tailpipes. So when you're trying to get it through, it's catching at the bottom and the top. So you have to get the back end up. I had to put this side in first because that's furthest away from the flexi pipe, because that's blocking me putting the back end up on this side. Got that side in, jimmied it across, got it in. But yeah, tight fit. Right. So now I'm going to do something I shouldn't really do. I've only got one gasket, so I've made myself one out of a flexoid bit of gasket material. It's not really suitable for exhausts, but it's okay just for me to warm it up and test what's going on in terms of the post-cat sensor reading. So we'll do that, and I'll get one on order. Get that fitted straight away. I need some new fittings of these as well because they're a bit knackered. So put a bit of grease on so we can get it off and try and pop this on as quickly as we can. It's getting late as well, so kids need feeding. So let's get this done as quickly as we can. And then let's just make sure we've got the gasket right. This gasket only goes on one way, so yeah. Upside down, back to front. Try again. Definitely pokey yoky this is, which is good, isn't it? It would have been on backwards. A couple of nuts to put on and tighten it all up. Cool. Last thing is just to tighten. Last thing to tighten is the sensor. So I've got this crow's foot. Pop that on and don't over tighten it, do we? Don't want to stress test my welding. That'll do. Knit that up. Day's getting long, guys. Shadows getting long. So I'm going to start it, let it warm up, and then we'll look at what's going on with those sensors. I'm a little bit concerned that it's been throwing up a warning about heater circuit and not about the measurement itself. So I don't know if the measurement's been bleep blooped out of the ECU, but we'll find out, won't we? That's a good start. Let's let it warm up. Right, so the first thing to note is there's no warning light on. That's good news. Let's just do a quick graph. Oh, it's gone flat. Oh my God, I have to charge it up. So I've got this on the phone now. Right, so graphing. Okay. Okay. Right, let's find out. And it looks pretty good, guys, doesn't it? Doesn't it? So we can see the red line oscillating as it should. And then the green line is a lot flatter. I think that's how it should look. And you accelerate. I'm putting more through now, aren't I? And the green line is following the red, and it shouldn't do that with the cat. The green should be cleaning this out, but at the moment that looks a bit suspect, doesn't it? Seems to be doing okay at idle, but then at idle it didn't pass either. So I don't know. Take it up to 2,000 RPM. Sit at 2,000. Yeah, it shouldn't be. Should be following the red. So there's definitely an issue here with the cat. Hi guys, so this has arrived, infrared temperature sensor. So I'm just going to do a quick test on the performance of the cat. So apparently, from what I can read and see on YouTube, the temperature after the catalytic converter is supposed to be noticeably higher. So I'm going to quickly get under and have a quick go with this, see what's happening before and after. So let's go before. (110-ish), and then after, oh, it's even lower. It's not even the same. I mean, this car's been ticking over for 20 minutes now, so it's all up to temperature. Everything's quite warm. So before, just on where the weld goes back into the pipe work, and then the same here, where the weld goes back into the pipe work. Yeah, it's just a lot lower. Right, guys, that's it. That's it for this video. I think we've determined by fitting that O2 sensor and doing that post-cat check and then just doing that quick temperature check that this cat is not working. Not good. Right, so I've got some Cataclean. I can put that in. You're supposed to put it in with a quarter of a tank and then run it till the fuel light comes back on. I don't know how many miles that is. That's quite a lot of miles. Now, I've not got an MOT on this car, so I need to figure out how to do that. Before we conclude, though, thank you for watching. Really appreciate the support. If you can just drop out and hit that subscribe button, that would be brilliant. Thanks a lot. Join me next time and I'll continue the saga, and I might even get another cat on order as backup anyway. So my name's Craig and I'm exhausted. Take care. See you next time.